This guitar interactive feature is brought to you by Laney Amplification. Head to laney.co.uk for more information.
So, Lari Basilio, absolute pleasure to see you. Got a brand new album, Redemption, that's dropping on May 16th. Been a couple of years in the making, this one, but it's very, very special. It's got to be very special for you too. Can you talk us through putting this one together?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. First of all, I'm happy to be here talking to you. So yeah, this album is very special to me. It's been a very interesting process throughout the making of this record. Every album to me, I think it marks a specific time of my life, and I get inspiration from my life in general, the relationships, my relationship with God, my daily basis life. And this specific record, it coincides, the journey of this album, it coincides with my motherhood journey. So it's a very emotional, it's been an very emotional journey. And I think the result of the songs are very emotional as well.
Yeah, no, it definitely feels that way. I mean, you're a very emotive player. That goes without saying. Everything you put out has that feeling to it. But as you say, there's been some changes in your life since the last record and what have you. Do you find that as a songwriter, you need these changes, whatever it be, ups and downs, to actually inspire the music, rather than you sort of just sitting down and trying to just force that out?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, for me, it works that way. I like to feel like the freedom. Whatever inspires me, I'm here for it. Let's do it. But I feel that life in general is what inspires me the most. And I tend to take the advantage of all the feelings, the emotions that I'm feeling in certain specific situations of my life, and put it out through songs, melodies, and try to tell stories, songs for people to listen. And that's pretty much it.
So it's a tough question to answer this, because anyone who plays not just the guitar, any instrument, the one thing you want to be able to do is communicate these emotions through the instrument, or communicate some type of idea through it. And it's the $1 million question on how you actually go about doing that. Now, you're someone who knows how to do it. It maybe has come in a way that's partly hard work, but also sometimes a little bit of natural ability. But in your studies over the years, and as a great songwriter, did you have a tip on the best way of actually expressing yourself in the instrument the way that you feel it?
I tend to focus my songwriting, my songs, my tunes in the melodies. Every album for me, the challenge is how can I be myself and yet be different, sound different, but yet sound like me. But I think the challenge for me is to create new melodies, every album, every song. So I think songwriting requires a lot of practice as well. So people might think that, oh, no, you just have to be inspired and that's it. But I think it requires, it takes time for you to even develop your own methods of writing songs and understand yourself within the music that you're trying to create, how you're going to express yourself. And I think it takes time, and it takes practice. But for me, I always I try to focus on the melodies, because I think that's what really can tell a story to everyone that is listening. And I want it to be understood by whoever is listening. I want they to understand that my song has like a beginning, middle, and end. It makes sense as a whole in the end, And I really believe that melodies is really what makes a song be remarkable somehow, some way. And this is what I try to focus on. And I see the guitar as a voice, and I think this is what allows me to bring this this idea of a melodic playing. So it's like the guitar is my voice, so it's like the singer in a song. So I try to let the song breathe, create space. And, I think it helps a lot to make the song happen in the best way possible.
Oh yeah, no, no, and Redemption's the best example of that. Every track has that feeling. Taking things right back to the beginning with music and yourself, before you were even playing guitar, do you remember like hearing a great melody like on the radio or something like that you just thought that was like the first time you really felt like you were moved by music?
Oh yeah, there's many remarkable melodies for me in my life, but one that is very remarkable is definitely the melody of "Flying in a Blue Dream" by Joe Satriani. That's probably one of the most instrumental songs that I listen in my life for sure. This one is pretty remarkable. I think Joe is a genius when he's writing his songs. He's definitely a master in crafting beautiful melodies. So really, that's the one for sure to me.
Absolutely, no, fantastic choice. And then going back to the album Redemption, and of course, what the guys will have got to hear so far. I've been lucky enough to hear the full album, and it's brilliant. But you've obviously got the title track that's already out there, Redemption, which is a fantastic piece of music in its own right. Just looking at just the solo section in that, just as a little bit of a study, because you could break down so much of it, and my God, we could be here for for 6 hours, all the amazing bits that's in there. But just looking specifically at the solo, it's one of these things where a solo section can feel a little bit forced, or I'm going to do this now for a little bit and I'm going to put that technique in there. And you manage to blend everything so seamlessly where you're not even sort of thinking as a listener, you're not thinking, oh, wow, she's doing hybrid picking there and she's doing this thing here. It's just a great piece of music. So in terms of like crafting a guitar solo like that, like the one in Redemption, is there improvisation involved? Are you relying on your theory? How does it work for you?
For me, everything starts from improvisation. For that specific solo of Redemption, it's funny because I started writing the song from this section, actually. I started from the solo, and after I finished, creating the beginning, the intro, the main theme of the song. So, I mean, I love it. We never know how, sometimes you never know how the song goes, but it's beautiful the way each song is built differently, and I love it. So yeah, I started building that song from that section. And for that specific solo, I had like the chords on the chords, the chord progression, and I started, improvising over it like many times, and I kept listening back and keeping the parts that I love, the parts that I don't love that much, I threw away, and started to improve those little parts that I love until it became like the full solo. But everything for me, it starts from an improvisation. Starts from improvisation, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's always been the same for you when it comes to writing solos, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much that. But I love it. I love to see. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, does that ever cause a problem for you live? Because, sometimes with improvisation, you're going to come out with something that's just like out of this world. And you're sometimes maybe thinking, oh, am I going to be able to play that again?
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes it happens. I always make sure that I write everything that I do the notation, the tabs for everything or video, everything,
Yeah.
because we have this problem. Sometimes something we just played, we are not able to play again. It's crazy. But yeah, I like to start from improvisation, but I also love to sit down and, analyze like every part of the song that I'm writing. So it can truly, make sense and doesn't get like, how can I say it? It doesn't get lost in the song.
Sure.
So I like to go somewhere. I like to come back, so, and the song has to make sense. So I start from improvisation, but I love to sit down and really pay attention to every section and, build the song well built.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, you've been playing your signature LB1 now for a little while. You've got the new color that's just come out at NAMM there. Having an instrument like this where, it's custom made to your specifications from a great company like Ibanez, how has that helped you in a musical creation perspective?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Since I got the guitar, it's right here, the black one, the new one.
That's it. It
Yeah,
couldn't be more black.
right. So it's amazing because, ever since I got this guitar, I felt like so inspired. I've written so many songs, new tunes with this guitar, and I felt at home in the first chord that I played in this guitar. So it's amazing to work with an amazing company like Ibanez. They absolutely nailed this guitar in the first prototype that they sent me. And yeah, it's an amazing instrument. It's versatile.
Mhm.
And I feel that's what I need for the songs that I play for my style of songs because, from my albums, you guys can see, I have like heavy tunes, I have groove
Yep.
stuff, ballads, even acoustic stuff in some albums as well. And I feel that I need like an instrument that would be versatile and allow me to do like everything that I need. And I'm grateful that we achieved that with this guitar. Also with my signature pickups from Seymour Duncan. And there's so many features that I love about this guitar, especially the compound radius on the fretboard, and also the dynamic switch, which allows me to have like 9 different tones. So yeah, it's an amazing instrument.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, we've been lucky enough to get the purple one in the studio a couple of years back, and we can't
Amazing.
wait to check this one out as well. Fantastic instruments. Now, just there, it's interesting to say, they got it right first time. So peel back the curtain a little bit in the process of putting this together with Ibanez. Did you already have very specific ideas of what you wanted the instrument to be, and then they just brought that to life, and that's the end of it? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much that because all of these years playing many different guitars, I kind of knew exactly what I liked and what I didn't like that much. So I had this specs in my mind for a long time.
Mm.
And discussing with Ibanez, they were super excited about it and they brought it to life in the most beautiful way. And as I said, first chord, it felt so good, and I'm feeling inspired every day by this guitar. It's amazing.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned there that the album has all sorts of different styles on there, heavy stuff as well. Like you mentioned, Seven is one of those ones.
Yes.
I think we know how many strings you're using on that on that track. Which guitar are you using for Seven?
Seven, I use the AZ7 from Ibanez.
Hmm.
Beautiful guitar, plays so well, and I love the sounds of the pickups on that guitar as well. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Hyperion from Seymour
Okay.
Duncan.
Right.
Uh, Sounds really good. And, I'm trying to explore a little bit more the seven string guitar in trying to incorporate that in my playing, my style, in my composition. So it's been a lot of fun. It's a fun track. It's one of my favorites to play actually.
Oh
So yeah,
yeah,
it's very fun.
I mean, that'll be one of those ones when you're playing live. It's going to go down incredible. In terms of inspiration on stuff like that, I mean, obviously we're hearing, little bits of this. I feel like I hear like a little bit of I inspiration, maybe some Dream Theater, some prog elements. Were you bringing those elements in there, or was it all just you?
Yeah, no, I think we always, my inspirations are always with me somehow, right? But
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Andy Timmons, Rich Cotton, all these guys, they're huge inspirations to me. But yeah, but I used to listen more to heavy stuff like growing up, like bands like Avenged Sevenfold. I love Sinister Gates, he's an amazing player.
Yeah.
And I think I have a little bit of all of this within me. And
Mm.
when I write, definitely something different will come out.
It's
And I
just got
think,
to, it's got to come out. When you've learned so much of it for sure. Now, talking about great tones, obviously you're playing this incredible guitar with the Seymour Duncan pickups and what have you. you got to have a great amp for the tones to come through as well. And of course, you've been partnering with Laney for a little while with the Lionheart and and a few other amps with the what appears on the album from Laney.
Yeah, it's pretty much the Lionheart's pretty much the album, the amp that I use like most of the time for all my stuff in the studio, live. I bring it live, practicing at home. Like it's an amazing amp, and for me, super versatile as well. I need versatility in every piece of gear that I use, so I love it. So yeah, the Lionheart's the amp that I use the most in the album as well. It's right here behind
Of
me.
course.
So this is the Lionheart. I use most of the time I use it in the clean channel, and I run my pedals as well. But I also use the Lionheart. This amp is like so powerful. I use this amp for the heavy stuff on the album, to record those riffs like in the track The Way Home. I use this amp to record like all the rhythm guitars. Yeah, and I have other amps that I love. The Cub Super Top, the LA Studio as well from Laney. I mean, the range of amps, it's simply amazing. But I think the one that I use the most is the Lionheart. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing platform for pedals. Yeah, I'm super happy with this amp and this partnership.
Yeah, because it's one of those things, like there's so much debate online on tone and what's great tone and this, and trying to find your own sort of signature sound on the instrument can be such a challenge. Did you kind of feel like when you plugged into the Lionheart, like this is my sound now?
Yeah, I never encountered like difficulties like finding my sound through this amp. It's the opposite, it makes me find my tone like easily. And I think that's the point, of finding a piece of gear that you like. Yeah, I just love it. It feels really great under the fingers, That's the feeling that I'm always looking for as a guitar player. It has to feel right under the fingers when you're playing. So yeah, that's how I feel.
Absolutely. And, for yourself, I mean, there's so many great things about your playing, but one of the things that stands out so much is how dynamic you are as a player. And, these days when you record the music with all, there's a lot of pressure to make albums sound like other records and put loads of compression on it. And sometimes that can suck some of the life out of it. There's obviously so much dynamics, as I say, in your playing. How do you strike that balance between, getting the right sounds out of the amp, your fingers, and not maxing it out in the production that ends up sucking all the life out of it?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I forgot the expression.
Like a fine line.
Exactly. Exactly. Between this, the dynamics and losing it and losing the life, it's crazy. But, I for example, speaking about my album, I was looking for like in the Redemption album for like a more modern sound. But of course, not losing the dynamics at all. And I always try to be very careful, searching the sounds, the tones. And I'm careful to the point that even when I'm playing the expression, because I love to work the dynamics. In my sound, the way I play, in my expression. That's why I also explore a lot different techniques like playing with the guitar pick, playing with my fingers, because I think it adds a lot of different dynamics and sounds and expression. But yeah, it's a fine line between two, and we have to be careful. But I try to follow my ear, and I think everything is go fine. And of course.
That's it. If it sounds right, then you've got it. And of course, you've got great taste with that. And I think the track. I'm trying to remember the which one it was. Oh, it's Heartbeat on the track Heartbeat. I think is the perfect example of that, where there's just such whisper quiet moments for it to then build up, and it's just fantastic. Taken again back to the beginning and. Because again, you're such a well-rounded player, and you were just talking there about how sometimes you're using the pick, sometimes it's hybrid picking, legato, the whole thing. Was there ever a technique that you remember sort of working on that was a real challenge for you and it was the hardest to sort of add to your arsenal?
I think, legatos for me were always not so easy because, because of the strength, I think.
Mm.
So even nowadays is something that I keep practicing, so I can like keeping not to lose like the strength. Oh, and keep gaining more, strength in my fingers. And I think that would be the technique that I'm always, I keep coming back to it so I can, uh, have more fluid, sorry, the word.
Fluidity. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, fluidity.
fluidity,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
In my legato. So this is something that I'm always, coming back to it. Yeah, for sure. But
And
the
what
thing,
and what's your process for that then? You know, like when you're picking up the guitar and going, right, okay, today I'm just going to work through this just to strengthen my legato.
yes, in my like daily routine of practice, I try to like divide my day between, just noodling for fun, playing whatever, random backing tracks, improvising, and also, practicing my own songs and also practicing some techniques that I feel that I need. So this is pretty much how I try to divide like my time in a day of practice.
Yeah, yeah. Fair enough. And of course that makes sense. And on Redemption, of course, you got Vinnie back on the record, of course. You got Lee Sklar adding to the bass. How is it working with these guys?
Amazing. I mean, they need no introduction. They're absolutely legends, legends. So I feel really blessed and honored, to work with them, to play with them, and to have them as friends as well. So yeah, Vinny is the third record that we're doing together. He recorded Far More, Your Love, and Now Redemption with me. Such a blast. We have an amazing time in the studio every time. Vinny's such a fun guy. He makes everyone laugh in the studio, so it's always the best time. Leland's the second album that Leland is with me as well. He did Your Love and now Redemption. Leland is such a sweet guy. You know, such an elegant play with so much class. I love the tone, the ideas, the phrasing. Oh my gosh, it's incredible, incredible. And also we had Sean Hurley on bass, amazing player, so precise. I love his tone. And my friend Mari Jacinto on keys.
Okay.
She's also Brazilian, and I was so happy that she could join us for this album. So it's an amazing team. I mean, they're phenomenal players. They bring so much, so much. They add so much to every song, and the songs wouldn't sound that beautiful without those guys. They add so much. They know exactly what to do to to bring life to the song, just bring in the right amount. They're amazing. So I feel just blessed and honored to work with them and to have them on Redemption.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it just elevates the tracks even more. I mean, bringing the ideas to these players, how much of it are you allowing them off the leash? You know, because you must have very specific ideas on what you want from them, and you're asking them specifically because of what they can bring to the table. But are you able to let them go wild from time to time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have to do that, It's Vinny, it's Lee, it's Sean, it's Mary. So they need to, be free to do what they do. So, of course, absolutely. But I also produced this. It's a self-produced album. I produced myself the album, and I just because it's something that I love to do as well. I love to go through this, writing process and pre-producing the songs, like very carefully. Um, but of course, I need to give them the space that they need so they can shine, and they did it. They did it. It's amazing. But in the same time, they're amazing professionals to the point that they really understand and listen to the ideas, and it's part of being a really good professional musician as well. So they know what they're doing. So I'm really glad to have them on this record.
And, you know, like you know, we say there's just so many great players that are on there, just like yourself. But if you were looking down the line to you know, the next album and beyond, is there a sort of dream collaboration where you would love to have somebody appear on one of your records, or you could appear on theirs?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to be able to collaborate with the artists that I admire. So yeah, that's the case with all of these musicians: Vinnie, Lee, Sean, Nathan Eason from Far More album, Greg Filling Gaines. I also had Joe Satriani on Far More album, Saida Garrett. So it's amazing that we can collaborate. And yeah, I mean, I would love to collaborate more in the future with some of the players that I admire, like, let's say, Steve Lukather, maybe Rich Kotzen. These guys, I love them so much. It would be awesome.
Absolutely. And if you had Richie, maybe some vocals on there too, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it would be crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he's doing his collaborations these days, you know, with
Yeah.
Adrian Smith. You know, it'd be a fantastic partnership. Talking about that, you know, because obviously, you know, you're such a great instrumental songwriter. Have you written some songs over the years that you felt actually that would be really well suited to actually have a vocalist?
Yes, yeah. A few songs that I've written. Actually, to be honest, I've written a couple of songs with that in mind, and I ended up like, okay, no, I'm just gonna play over it, you know. But I feel that I need to take this idea forward and really, um, complete a song with a vocalist, and that would be really cool for sure. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Yeah.
But I'd love to hear as part of that, because you know, when you think of like, you know, Joe doing the chicken foot thing, or you know, or what
Yes.
have you, you know, it's interesting to see great players like yourself doing something a little bit out of the ordinary as well, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
For sure. So you've got a tour that's coming up. You're going to be back in Europe. Are you going to be coming over to the UK at some point?
Yes, I'm hoping to be going to the UK very soon. I'm not sure if it's gonna be on this run, but soon for sure. I have to be there. And yeah, I'm super excited for this European tour. It's gonna be like a month tour, so I'm pretty excited for that, and I can't wait to be on the road and play because I love to do it.
Absolutely. And have you had a chance to play any of the new songs live yet?
Not yet. I'm excited, to start, rehearsing the songs and taking them on the road.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be absolute killer. Look, Larry, absolute pleasure to chat with you. Congratulations on the new record, and we'll look forward to seeing you when you're back in the UK.
Yes, yes. I hope to see you when I'm in the UK. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Guitar Interactive, for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks. See you next time.
See ya. Bye.